Fáilte, welcome to Scoil Bhríde, Kilcullen in County Kildare. My name is Sarah FitzPatrick, Principal, and I'm delighted to welcome you to our school. We're a Catholic primary school under the patronage of the Archdiocese of Dublin. Our school was founded by the Sisters of the Cross and Passion back in 1878. Today our school is a thriving place of learning with about 650 students and 60 staff in 27 mainstream and 3 special classes. We're blessed to have a large school site, just under 6 acres. At Scoil Bhríde we support all children to be happy, confident learners and communicators who feel strong and well inside. Respect for ourselves, others and our environment is at the heart of all we do. We believe that staying connected to one another and to our environment is actually the key to our well-being. We're proud to be a green school at Scoil Bhríde Kilcullen. Our assistant principal and teacher Mark Murphy is our Green Schools Committee leader and champion. And each year, with Mark's support and leadership, our Green Schools Committee develop an action plan for every theme in the Green Schools programme. So what have we been doing? Well, we conserve water by collecting rainwater to flush toilets and water plants. We have recycling bins for paper and plastic and also recycling boxes for batteries in every classroom. We support the local Tidy Towns litter picks. We practice walk on Wednesday with a weekly golden boot for the classes with the most walkers. We explore our local biodiversity with bug hunts and river studies of the Liffey which flows through Kilcullen. We grow fruits, vegetables and flowers in our school garden and on the grounds, which include a bug hotel. And we conserve light and heat with the support of our energy monitors in every class. We save about 15% on our energy use daily with our new solar panels, and we're very excited to increase this saving on a daily basis. We're very thankful to the Heritage and Schools experts who help us appreciate and look after our environment. We're also thankful for educational trips and tours locally to Castlemartin Stud and further afield to wind and solar farms. We're thankful to national organisations like Teagasc who supplied potatoes from their potato breeding programme for our school garden this year. And we're thankful to the Sustainable Energy Authority of Ireland, the SEAI, for their educational resources, training and grants. Our EST grants have enabled us to purchase our New Zealand compost bin, our rainwater harvesting system, our raised beds and seeds, compost, manure and hedging, and finally timber fencing and benches for our garden. So I suppose to sum up, we know that caring for the environment, it's a team effort, a shared responsibility. We're all in it together. We're especially thankful to our wonderful caretaker, Joe Kennedy, who brings great energy to all of our Green School actions. We're hugely thankful to Mark Murphy, Assistant Principal, for leading our Green School Committee's work and supporting all of us in all of these actions. 8 green flags achieved so far, and I know we're well on our way to our 9th flag. We're thrilled to have Paddy Madden and Des Murta working with us today at Scoil Bhríde, and we're so excited to learn from and with them today. Míle buíochas, Paddy and Des.
Hello, I'm Paddy Madden and I'm here in Scoil Bhríde, here in Kilcullen in County Kildare. It's early June and I'm here with Des Murta and Mark Murphy, the Green School Coordinator here, and his Green School Committee here, and we're planting out pumpkins. So by growing our own pumpkins, we're actually cutting down on food miles. The pumpkin plants here that we are planting today, they were sown indoors. They were sown indoors in May in clean milk cartons and coffee cups. The cartons were cut in halves and they were filled with peat-free compost. Holes were pierced in the bases and some grit then was added to each one to aid drainage. The flat seeds, they were sown on their sides to prevent them from rotting. The cartons were then covered with plastic to retain moisture, and they were placed on sunny windowsills. After the shoots and the true leaves appeared, the pots were left outside during the day to harden them up for a week. Large holes now have been dug here in the beds, as you can see, and they've been dug about ½ metre apart for the plants. We'll be able to fit 8 of these plants here in the bed. These holes have been filled with a 50% mix of homemade compost and 50% soil. Callum, Emily, Niamh and Ollie will now plant the pumpkin supervised by Mark. And after they are planted, Nathan and Milo will insert a plant pot beside each pumpkin plant. You see, their pumpkins are thirsty plants, so inserting empty pots beside them is handy for watering, and it ensures that the water gets right down there to the roots. And then Charlie and Amelia will mulch around each plant with homemade compost to conserve moisture, suppress weeds and provide food for the plants. And they will keep the compost, of course, away from the stems in case it will rot them. So we are now going to have the planting process.
Okay, as Paddy has said, we are now going to start the planting. So I have Ollie, Callum, Emily and Niamh here to plant the pumpkins. So boys and girls, what we're going to do is we're going to squeeze the milk carton, because this will soften up the soil so the pumpkin will pop out nice and easily. Okay, we're going to place our 2 fingers beside the stem. Okay, and then we're going to turn the pumpkin over and squeeze the pot again, and it should start popping out. Okay, and when you have it out, into that hole, we're going to put the pumpkin straight up with stem pointing upwards, nice and gently. That is excellent. Okay, well done. I might get you to do 1 more each. So here you go, Emily. Here you go, Callum. And Ollie. And Niamh, you can just watch for this one because I've already planted yours. Okay, so same again then, guys. Emily, if you can stand here. Yeah, stand here. Over you come, Callum. And Ollie, you can do the top one. Now let's just make sure we're facing, guys. Yeah, well done, guys. Well done. 2 fingers and squeeze the pots. Well done. Turn it over, Callum. Straight in, Emily. That's excellent. Really good, Ollie. Super. Well done, guys. You can just go back to where you are. Well done. Next up, we're going to have Milo and Nathan. Up you come, Milo and Nathan. So if you want to stand here, guys. Now, Milo and Nathan, what we're going to do is we're going to place planting pots beside each pumpkin. Why is this, do you think?
For more water storage.
For more water, because as Paddy said, pumpkins are really thirsty pumpkins, okay? They're really thirsty vegetables, okay? So we're going to place our planting pot like that beside the pumpkins for each one. Okay, so Nathan, if you come up this side. Yeah, it's super well done. Well done. Excellent job, guys. Okay, so Nathan and Milo, we are now going to cover the pots and the pumpkin, and we're going to tuck the pumpkin in. So I want you to put the soil into the pots. Just watch for a second, well done. And just make sure you see the rim. That's important for when we're watering, okay? And with your 2 fingers, you're going to tuck in the pumpkin to make sure the pumpkin is nice and warm and will be nice and safe, okay? So you should be able to see the rim like that, okay? So if each you now would do each plant each, that would be great. And now you're tucking in with your 2 fingers, tuck in the pumpkin. And nice and gentle with the stem, that's excellent. Well done, Nathan, you can go on to the next one. And now we're going to have Amelia and Charlie, and you're going to put in the mulch around each of the pumpkins. And what this will do is this will prevent any weeds kind of growing up, and it will also just make sure you don't go too near the stem so the stem doesn't rot. Okay. So around the pumpkin. Yep, on to the next one, Charlie, well done. That's perfect, Amelia.
So now Imogen and Killian, they will cover the little plants with cut upturned 2-litre plastic bottles to deter slugs from eating them. And later in June they will scatter baked eggshells around the pumpkins for the same purpose, to deter slugs. So these plants then will be watered during the summer by Joe Kennedy, the caretaker, and volunteers from the parents' committee. When the first fruits begin to appear, they'll get a weekly feed of potassium fertilizer, which will be high in potassium to enable healthy fruits to grow. So to encourage bigger fruits, then they will be thinned to 2 per plant, and the fruits will be placed on slates rather than on the ground, or even bricks, and that will keep them off the ground. They will be harvested then in the autumn when the stems show signs of cracking.
Okay, as Paddy said, we're going to use upturned 2-litre bottles, and I have Killian and Imogen doing this first. So guys, what we're going to do is we're going to hold the stem nice and carefully with your 2 fingers and place the leaves inside the 2-litre bottle, and this is going to deter slugs from eating the pumpkin plant, and just place it like that, and that would be a great job. Okay, so Killian and Imogen, away you go. Nice and gentle. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed our lesson on planting pumpkins, and we look forward to the harvesting at the end of October next year, where hopefully every class will have a pumpkin to carve in their classroom. And Green Schools, thank you very much, and don't forget warm water and soap to wash your hands when you go back in. And we'll finish actually with Nathan, if you want to do a little bit of water, because as we said, pumpkins are thirsty plants.
So thank you everybody here for participating in this video, and Mark for supervising the planting here. Really looking forward to a wonderful harvest here of pumpkins in the autumn, but also before the summer holidays we will harvest the spuds here behind us, peas of different types, mange 2, sugar snap peas, main crop peas, scallions and lettuces have already been harvested. There's even rhubarb here to make some pies before the holidays in the summer. So thank you very much everyone, and have a lovely summer.